making money since the 4th grade, and then I've been technically retired since 2012. Whenever stopped to give me a tip or give me a piece of advice or like, hey bro, don't do this, do this. It's less the effort, it's half the effort, twice the money. One thing I realized, and I did a video about this a while back, is success doesn't equal happiness. It's a big difference between being successful and being happy with yourself.
How can someone go find a mentor? And two, what should you look for in a mentor?
I would say it's who you are as a person, who you want to be, and then it's your health, and then it's relationships with your family, relationship with God, and then your relationship with your finances.
How did you come up with the name, man? Heart and Hustle. Like how did it take you a long time? Did it just come to you at night?
No, it's
Welcome to the VibeConChris podcast, where we believe that energy is a form of frequency, and your frequency is what you frequently see and also what you frequently attract. And today we were lucky enough to attract a gentleman like Christian. He is an entrepreneur. He is an artist. He is a man of many talents. But without further ado, Christian, let the people know where you're coming from today, brother, what you've been doing these last couple of years.
Man, I appreciate it, Raul. Thank you for having me on the podcast. Thank you for us letting me come out here and then share this time with you and try to be a blessing.
to you, to your people, to the world,
To everyone, man.
Yeah, man. You know, that's what we try to put forth, and I really live by be the change that you want to see in the world, you know. And so that's what I try to bring. Long story short, for me, been an artist, bro. Been an artist since I was 4 years old. I'm making money since the 4th grade, and then I've been technically retired since 2012.
2012.
And it's just been a continuous just exploration of my ability to draw and create and paint and draw and sculpt, and been able to do that on cars and bikes and boats. And then in that process, you're like, oh, I should probably get paid for this. You know, it'd be a good idea to get paid. And then you start learning about, you know, the business side of it, the salesmanship, the communication. And then, you know, you do that long enough, 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years, 38 years in the game. I don't want to date myself.
All right.
Yeah, my 42nd birthday was like a week ago.
Oh, wow,
But
man. Happy belated, bro.
Thank you. And then you accumulate enough knowledge, and I'm to the point now where I'm like, man, I should probably turn around and help somebody.
Yeah.
And so I got to the point now where I try to share, be as useful as I can to like young hustlers coming up, and like, dang, how come no one ever said this to me? Or how come no one ever stopped to give me a tip or give me a piece of advice, or like, hey bro, don't do this, do this. It's less the effort, it's half the effort, twice the money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, we live in a new time where there's more people willing to give you the advice. But, you know, 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't like that. Everyone kept their gold nuggets to themselves, you know?
Yeah.
I think people like you and I are kind of that new generation where we're really trying to be as fruitful as we can to anyone who comes up and asks for a piece of advice. And especially now with these, you know, what a fantastic platform you have.
Thank you.
You know, and the fact that we're able to share this with you beautiful people out there, you know, all the young guns. You know, I like your shirt. I know you.
Oh, thank you, bro. Action takers are money makers, but I brought it because of your slogan, bro. Of your slogan, I know that your company is hustle. No,
heart and hustle.
Heart and hustle.
Yeah,
but favor. No.
So it's heart and hustle,
hustle,
where we empower you to go out there and live a kick-ass life. Fortune favors the bold.
There we go.
And that's really it's the lesson that I wish they would have stopped to tell me about when I was 15. And I've been hungry ever since, and hungrier now more than ever. You know, to continue to build myself and to build my community and build my country, build the world, and you know, we're all in this together.
Man, so there's so many things I want to touch on with what you just said, but a tip for everybody watching, man. Like, if people give you game, the best thing that you can do to say thank you is not roses, it's not a gift card, it's not clothes, none of that. It's just simply taking action on that advice that you were given.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
So for everybody watching, everything that Christian is about to drop, take one thing, you know, act on it, because this man is full of knowledge. He has the experience. He has the receipts to show it. But brother, like, tell us a little bit about who Christian was in high school, man.
If I may just add one little thing to what you said, and if I could ask your people for a favor, you know, and it goes both ways. Chris and I are here to help you guys. But if you really wanted to thank us, number one, I guess the first step is write it down. Whatever that one thing that caught your attention, write it down. And if you really, really want to thank us, turn around and help somebody else. That's the one thing that
Heavy.
I really like, dude. I'll be as helpful as I can, and if
Yeah.
you, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Hey, dog, if you really want to say thank you, turn around and help somebody else.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. So if there's one thing that I could ask of your audience today, is just do that.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if everyone did that, and then everyone did that, and everyone did that, imagine the ripple. Imagine the ripple that we would create around the world.
The best thing about teaching somebody else is that you are engraving it more in your mind.
Amen.
As you teach someone else, bro. You feel me? Like
I got a thick skull too, bro.
bro, yeah. So like, bro, sometimes as soon as I learn something, I'm like, let me go teach you to somebody, and then my wife's like, yo, relax, and I'm like, nah, you don't understand. Like, if I don't do this, like, it's gonna evaporate, man. There's just so many things, so many great things, right? Great information out there and all that, but if you don't act on it and then teach on it, bro, it might wither away. Might wither away.
Yeah. Well, you don't use, you lose.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason that I am this way, is because I'm probably still the one that needs the most help.
Yeah.
Needs the most advice. I'm still looking, scratching and clawing, trying to figure this out. And I guess this has been super helpful in helping me to get to the next level.
Yeah.
Is continue to teach, which forces me to have to get better.
Yeah.
So it's this really beautiful kind of self-fulfilling prophecy of success and happiness and fulfillment. It's cool, man.
It's a like long life dance, bro, of being a teacher and a student.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're both in the same room.
Yeah.
Just at obviously different times.
Well, here we are today.
So tell us, bro, who was Christian in high school, man? Were you an athlete? Were you a little menace, bro? Did you have straight A's?
I was a menace to society. One and two. No. I mean, I was. I have a sticker that says "Pray for the Knuckleheads." I'm probably gonna do a shirt with that as well.
Okay.
And maybe even a little campaign, but nothing crazy. Never try to kill nobody or anything like that. My thing was graffiti. It was art. It was art based. I mean, I went into kindergarten. I was already a good artist. Junior, by the time I hit the 4th grade, almost half the school had my name in their not my name, but I would do your name, and you'd have it in your binder.
Okay.
So like half the school.
I remember on the front, the clear cover, bro.
You put all the friends and the precious moments and all that. And so I did all my friends' names, and then word got around. That's actually how my business started.
Yeah.
Is I did all my friends, and then people that I didn't know. Hey, do my name. And then in my mind was the student store. My parents didn't have money to give me for the cookies and the Fritos with the chili and during lunch.
Yeah.
But I'm always been money mind. And I said, well, give me $1. I'll write your name. Give me $1. And that's how I started making money with the art. And that was like in the 4th grade.
Bro, back then $1 you can get
bang.
chips and a drink.
That was bang.
Yeah,
I was balling. I was balling, bro. All my homies were hooked up, And then I've always had really beautiful handwriting. And then that, preteen, 13, 14, you're like, oh, what's cool, And to me, artwork and the painting and then graffiti, letter structures. And then graffiti was also kind of an adventure because you get to climb up buildings and you're hopping over the gate.
It's an adrenaline too, bro.
It's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And that was, it makes for my story now. I got kicked out of like 8 high schools over graffiti. And then the funny thing is I ended up doing the book cover. Yeah, the book cover for my yearbook for my graduating class.
Oh, wow.
So I actually ended up being beneficial.
Yeah.
So I have that acknowledgement. I'll send you the picture.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put it up, bro. We'll put it up.
So I have the yearbook cover of my graduating class.
But who do you think that, especially like you're saying that, at 4 years old, you were already like getting down drawing, but like, who do you feel it came from?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom. My dad's a trooper, hard worker, provided for his family. I come from a big family, 7 kids, my mom and my dad. Yeah. And my mom said, oh, he wanted 11. My mom had to stop him a little bit. So he got a big family.
Yeah, 7.
But my mom, I guess in Mexico, there's calligraphy class, which is one of the required classes. And those 8.5 by 11 full sheets of paper, she would have me do circle, like pages of it. When I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I hated it, bro. I was like, dude, I'm a kid. Why are you having me do this?
Man.
But
yeah.
once I got into handwriting, bro, my hand is just made for art. Like anything that I've ever touched in art, I picked it up quick. I just took me about 20 minutes to pick up everything that I do. And it's the catalog is big. It's a big catalog of artistic abilities and skills. But I'm so grateful that my mom, it was one of those things that I didn't understand, but looking back on it, I'm like, man, yeah, I'm grateful and I'm grateful that I still have both my parents.
Oh wow,
yeah,
okay, that's a big blessing.
Super inspiring. My dad's the hardest worker I know, and my mom does magic with money. She just the man builds and the wife multiplies.
That is very true.
I'm grateful that I got to share that with your people, because a lot of people don't, you don't realize that when you're young and you're considering a wife, but the man leads and the wife multiplies. And so that's, but yeah, I'm grateful that my mom kind of, like I said, I got a thick skull, but my mom, she worked with what she had.
And she did a real good job, bro. Real good job. What's your mom's name? Maria. Shout out to Maria and your dad?
Carlos.
Maria and Carlos, big shout outs, man.
Carlos and Maria.
Yes, did you ever draw something for them, like for an anniversary gift or a birthday?
Yeah, that was it. Every Valentine's, and every Father's Day, that was do a little house. Or my dad's a mechanic, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got to do a shout out to my dad, Carlos Brakes. If anyone ever needs brakes or alignment, Alameda and Firestone.
Oh, okay.
And so he's still trooping. He's still doing hard. But yeah, I mean. He's got a shop, and I got a little corner where I keep some of my paints and some of my stuff. So if you guys ever go, it's a gallery. It's okay. I'm gonna invite you one day so you can.
Yeah, bro.
It's a huge gallery, and now I'm doing like bigger. I'm trying to like paint the whole building, so make it kind of like we're not too far from downtown, even here. But kind of spread the art scene a little bit closer to toward that area.
So what city did you grow up in, man? Like your childhood and all that.
I was born here,
okay,
but immediately taken back to Mexico, Rosarito.
Okay.
And so I grew up in Rosarito till I was like 5, and then San Diego. As soon as kindergarten started, San Diego, and then Chula Vista to be exact.
Oh, wow.
And then we may have been like a year or two there, and then LA. So LA.
LA was the breeding ground for
I like
everything.
to say born and raised, but there was a little 6-year, 7-year gap that I got pulled away. But yeah, I've been, West Coast guy my whole life, bro. Yeah, I love it.
Man, bro, and to think that a tsunami might wipe it out, bro.
Let's pray. We'll pray over that. Yeah, we'll definitely pray for not just this one, but everything else that's happened where tsunamis have affected the world like that.
Wow, that was crazy, man.
So,
that's crazy.
Keep us in your prayers.
Yeah. Okay, so then after high school, bro, you were commissioned to do the book cover for your yearbook. And what was it like after high school? Did you go to college? I
did. Yeah.
Okay.
I did go to college. I mean, art's just. I'm shocked that I don't have a pen in my hand now. I always have. I'm always doodling. It's been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20. You got to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be responsible.
Yeah.
And so I went to college, took some of my general eds. Then I saw that a great way into wealth was real estate. So hooked up with some real estate mentors and friends, and then got my real estate license, and kind of took that route of, growing up and being responsible and doing all that stuff. But I never stopped painting, never stopped drawing, never, I'd work all day and come home and paint on my off time, That was kind of, from 20 to 30 was a lot of business stuff, but still didn't stop painting. That was always on the back burner,
Man, so you say that you retired in 2012, and you just said 42, but I was gonna say, bro, you don't look a day close to 63, my guy.
I was gonna say, so, I look pretty good for 64,
for
bro.
64, So how is it? Yeah. Was real estate a huge part, or like the reason why you were able to retire in 2012? And like also what did retirement look like, and how did you come about to say, hey man, you know what? From here on, we're not doing what we have to do. We're going to start doing what we want to do.
Yeah. Well, I'll clarify because I was doing real estate. It's one of those things where it's like I said, I never stopped painting. And my late 20s, early 30s, like 32, 33, I was really angry. I was very angry at the world, hustling, grinding, like, you know, get money and, you know, all that kind of that attitude. And I was really angry at the world because I was discovering a lot of things that I just didn't jive with. You know, I didn't agree with it, and society just kind of agrees with it and goes along with it. And one day at 33, I was at a train, stopped. You know, you get caught in the train. I was at the front of the train, and it was cruising by, and I was looking at all the colors, and who's catching a tag, and who's still up, and who's not. And I thought, you know what, man, I love painting. Like, yeah, the money's good, but I'm an artist, bro. Yeah. Like, why am I still negating this because other people say I have to be responsible and put a suit on, and I have to live their version of success? And that's when I just said, nah, man, I'm an artist. If standing at a wall painting all day makes me happy, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. I don't care about the money. You know, I sacrificed a career as a dentist for the same reason. And when I was 22, 23, 24, you know, you chase after the 6-figure job. And I was one of those kind of similar things where you're right at the point where you're gonna sign up for all the student loans. Yeah. And I just thought, fuck. Like, bro, I'm an artist, bro. Like, whatever, you're right. I want to make 6 figures, but I'm going to hate my job. I'm going to hate my life. I'm going to have the great house, the vacations, the Jaguar. But inside, I'm going to be dead, you know? And so a lot of the business stuff that the world is telling me to do, I thank God that I cut right before I 100% committed and reminded me, like, nah, man, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I did make money, you know. When I say that I'm retired, is that since 2012, my art has given me enough money that I don't need to work for anybody else. Everything that I do now is all the stuff that I would come home to do after work. Yeah. And I would do it for free. I had to pay for all my materials and get supplies, and ever since then, since 2012, I've made enough where I don't have to. I make enough to cover what I need to cover. But to me, it's like, bro, like I get to wake up and paint. And I see my walls, and they got colors, and I got acrylics and oils, and, you know, 150 spray cans, different colors, and, you know, 200 gallons of, you know, I've got a sick stock of just what do I want to do today. And thank God that I've been blessed with like really great clients that allow me to really, it's awesome, bro, because I know what I can do. But then the client comes with their ideas, and then we blend, and then we're both sitting there like, what is this? Because I can do what I can do, but it was the client's idea, and then we're both shocked at like the end result. We're both kind of there like, I don't recommend people retire. I can speak from a man's point of view. I've noticed that once you retire and you sit and do nothing, you got 2 years tops, maybe a year, and you're dead and gone. And I noticed also, too, there's other dudes that are like 90 still putting deals together. And those guys look great. And I saw those two men, and I said, well, who do I want to be like? I want to be like that guy that's living what God made him do and what God put him on earth to do. And he's, 90 years old, still putting deals together. Wow. So I was like, man, I want to be like that guy right
there. It keeps you hungry, man, It keeps you hungry in the best possible way. Because sometimes, you're hungry, but you're hungry for like things to fulfill the flesh. But when you're doing things like that, making deals that it's a win-win-win situation that keeps you hungry, but to continue to feed the soul and help feed others. So I read a study yesterday that I believe it was in the 50s or in the 40s, 1950s, 1940s. They grabbed 3 young men. They're about 25 years old, and they put them on bed rest. There's nothing wrong with them. They just put them on bed rest. It's an experiment that they did for, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks. Their cardiovascular system, everything turned into a man that was 65.
No way.
It matched it.
No way.
Yeah, and
so
then
it aged them.
Yeah,
drastically.
Just 2 to 3 weeks of bed rest.
No way.
Yeah, so when you say like, hey, the retirement, right? I don't really recommend to retire. I completely understand what you're saying because I see it too, where like, you know, people retire and like a year or two, you get that phone call.
Yeah.
Fulanito passed away.
And they look great.
Yeah,
a
yeah,
year
yeah.
earlier, they're like, dude, this guy looks great.
Yeah,
And then
and
you see them and they're all shriveled up and
yeah,
got the life sucked out of them.
yeah.
And so, yeah, that was, for me, I saw that and I'm like, nah, man.
Mhm.
I heard a great quote a while back, which is find the thing you love and let it kill you.
Mm.
And to me, I was like, man,
Mm.
hopefully it doesn't kill me till I'm past 100. I'm shooting for like 110, you know?
Yeah, 110. Hey, why not? Well, hey, with everything going the way it's going,
Yeah,
it's gonna be attainable, bro. Yeah. It's gonna be attainable. Mine's that my new quote that I love is live a life worth dying for.
Amen.
You feel me?
Amen.
I'm like,
I dig that.
yeah, bro. Because I'm like, dude, if you ain't moving, like, yeah, well, te vale if you're alive or not,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
That's awesome.
and then back to retirement, because when I'm sitting down with clients, like I began to be like, man, I ask people like, you know, retirement, everybody thinks that it's just a number, either in age or having X amount in the bank so that you can live off, whether you need 3,000 or 30,000 a month, you know, like for your expenses and all that.
Yeah.
And then I really like began to ask myself, because I began to meet more people like yourself. Like you retired way before 63 or 60, right?
If I may, bro, since we're talking about retirement, it is, you know, we're all financial people here.
Yeah.
So a huge part of retirement is minimizing your expenses. That's how I've been able to do it. I've minimized my expenses. And it's crazy because I went off the deep end. I didn't attain it, but I was around people that had, and I lived that life where it's the Rolls Royce and the yachts and the helicopters and the huge mansions. And, you know, to each his own. Some of the gentlemen that I met, they were happy in that moment with all those lavish luxuries. And I could tell it was because we were surrounded in a group of people and there was champagne flowing and it was the vibe, and who's not going to be happy?
Yeah.
But then, you know, I don't want to point any fingers, but, you know, one gentleman, 4 ex-wives, bunch of kids that didn't talk to him, had a pacemaker in his heart. And I'm like, man, you could tell, like, when you go home, bro, and you sit at the edge of your bed, you ain't happy, bro. You know what I mean? You ain't happy. I could, you know, like, and that made me reconsider what true success is. And that was one thing I wanted to mention earlier. Yeah. And then I went off the deep end, like, well, if a mountain of money is not true success, well, it is success.
Financial
in other
success.
people's eyes.
Yeah.
But one thing I realized, and I did a video about this a while back, is success doesn't equal happiness. It's a big difference between being successful and being happy with yourself. Being able to sit at the edge of your bed once the party's over and everybody went home, and truly being happy with yourself. And I went back and I went deep, and I was kind of angry at God. I was kind of, God was the first. I don't say God. I would say religion, the establishment of religion on earth.
Two different things.
I knew. You know, I know God, and it's crazy because God. Oh man, then I was like, man, I'm gonna go do my own thing, and I started studying different things, and it took me all the way back around to find God. And it turns out that God is the one that took me through that journey of anger and resentment and a deeper understanding. And now I'm happy with a peach and my surfboard. And sometimes I think, man, I should just be homeless. I should just go sit at the beach. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't need. And then some guy hit me with like, well, why do you need a peach and a surfboard, bro? And I said, damn.
you thought you were a minimalist, bro, till you met a real minimalist.
Yeah, like, why do you want a peach and a surfboard, you know? And so now I've stopped trying to fill that emptiness in my heart with stuff. Yeah. And once you're able to kind of, I'm not gonna say, I'm still learning, bro. I'm still hungry to achieve more and learn more, not materialistically, but as a human, you know? And that's one of the reasons that I can say that retired. Is because I've really minimized my expenses. Yeah. You know, God only knows. I'm only 42. If it's in the books that I have the huge mansion and the Rolls Royce and the helicopter, by all means. But I'm done waiting to be happy until I get those things. I'm happy now. Wow. You know what I mean? That's it. I already made it. So now it's a process of just being super grateful today, good or bad. And God willing, tomorrow's going to be better. And I put it all in his hands. That's when everything changed for me, is when I said, you know what? And I talk to God the way I talk. I cuss and, you know, I mean, I'm a hood dude but I'm also learned to be a better person, and that requires, you know, a better attitude, a better way of behaving. And I said, you know what, God, you see me driving my life, and I'm driving it into the mutton ground. I'm gonna need you to tell me who to talk to, what steps to take, who to shake their hands, and you pull my focus and my attention, and I'm gonna let you do your thing. It sounds corny, but that's why cliches have lasted as long as they are, because they're true. Let go and let God.
Yeah.
We've heard that a million times, you know? When life smacks you in the face and it doesn't force you, but it shows you that's the way. Like, stop trying to be so aggressive about managing everything. Let go and let God. Obviously, be responsible, show up on time, make sure your duties are taken care of, your bills are paid, make sure everything is up to date, but don't choke it. You know what I mean? Just put your hand out and let it land, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's again, I wish they would have told me this when I was 20, bro.
Oh, yeah, man. You know,
It's one of those things.
I go off the deep end, and I'm like, man, at this point, one can't think but that it's intentional, that it's not widespread knowledge, you know. And frankly, I feel like since elementary, it should be taught, like, your emotions, how to actually manage your emotions, because an emotional man is a dangerous man. You know, an emotional human is a dangerous human, bro. You know, and obviously your finances, nothing crazy, bro. You know, I'm not saying teach people how to flip homes and stuff, but like everybody's gonna have to pay taxes.
Yeah, well,
Feel me? Everybody's gonna have to pay bills, whether they're minimal or they're huge. You know, not everybody, but most people are gonna want to have either kids or have to take care of other family members or of that nature. You know, so. I'm like, dude, those would be some simple, basic things that would be extremely beneficial, not only for the next generation, but also for society. Yeah. Because if you're a better human, you're a better contributor to that community. The community then spreads out to the society, and then it goes to the world, and so on and so forth. It's the ripple effect that you mentioned.
Amen.
You know, so, man, everything that you're saying, I 100% agree with it. A big thing that I processed with our mentor from church. He said, hey, and most people wait till retirement and start traveling. You know, he's like, you don't have to. Now, maybe you might not be able to travel for a whole year, but you can start traveling. Yeah. You don't have to wait till you make X amount of money to start helping others. Yeah. Help them with what you have. And the biggest thing that shifted me was when he said, hey, people are searching for happiness, but happiness is extremely temporary. Like you said, those gentlemen with you know, all the luxuries, they were happy while in it. Yeah. But as soon as they departed from it, they weren't happy no more, because that withers away. But joy is a state that if you live in a state of joy, you're living in a state of fulfillment by default. Amen. And fulfillment is what really helps drive you on the worst days and on the best days. Yeah. Because you're happiest when you're creating, building. You know, some people, I think we were made in God's image. The first thing that God said, usually when people introduce themselves, like, hey, I'm Chris the carpenter. Why? That's the most important thing about Chris. He's a carpenter. You know, I'm Christian, the artist. It's the biggest thing that Christian wants you to know. He's an artist. The artist. God said, I create. He's a creator. And he made us in his image. So when we are creating, now everybody was given a different gift. You know, I was given 2 left hands, brother. You were not. You know? Yeah, so, I got 2 left and 2 right ones, brother. Don't worry. Yeah, so, you know, we're happy as when we're building, when we're creating, when it's bringing fulfillment, and that all translates into joy, because happiness is just so temporary. And people, they believe they're searching for joy and fulfillment by, you know, buying all these luxuries. Which, man, I love them, bro. Yeah. You know, I love having options, but who doesn't want? I also understand that is temporary. Yeah. What you do to actually attain that probably brings you more fulfillment than the thing itself. Right. You know. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's true. That's deep. Yeah, we're going off the deep end tonight. Yeah, a little bit. We're giving them the juicy stuff today. There you go. I did want to touch on 2 things about the traveling. You know, if you know, go out there and travel. I think one thing I think sometimes we overvalue distance.
Because some people, I want to travel, I want to go to Rome. You know? I'm like, bro, go to Santa Monica, Colorado, or go to Venice.
Yeah.
Like, there's people around the world dreaming of coming where you are.
Yeah.
Go take a walk. You know what I mean? That's for those of us that are here in California, the mountains are 45 minutes away. The lakes are 45 minutes away. The beach is 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's, and pack a lunch.
Yeah.
You don't, lunch at the beach is expensive. You want to have lunch, one person is $72 for a good lunch.
Yeah.
A nice steak and, overlooking the ocean. And, you want to get yourself a little, nice little drink, and that, like I said, that's a great experience. Pack a lunch.
Yeah, bro.
And and if you ask around, there's the local spot. I know a spot in Newport, $9, and they give you a nice a grilled turkey sandwich, some chips, and a soda overlooking but that's only the locals know about that spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my little low key.
I love doing that, connecting with the locals whenever we go someplace.
Yeah, and you get to you hear their story, and some of these people are, oh wow, and then that you should go over there, and they start breaking down the little secrets. And so I always say that when people say, I want to travel, bro, go take a walk. You don't have to save up $6,000 to take this great vacation. I mean, a trip to Catalina is what, $200?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe let's say another $400. You get a night or two at one of the hotels on the beach, a couple cool little lunches, cool little dinners, 2 nights. And Catalina, I haven't been to Saint-Tropez, but they say it looks like Morocco and Saint-Tropez, all the stuff that you see. I'm sure somewhere in Europe, and Catalina. I haven't told her yet, but we're probably gonna take you could jet ski from Long Beach to Catalina.
Yeah.
So I just gotta get my rubber ducky now, and we'll go out to the races.
Gotta have some floaties on.
Yeah. You gotta be safe.
Yeah.
Never be too safe. Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the happiness part, and I'm an artist, and that sounds like candy canes and lollipops, but it's still work. It's still work. One thing I realize is that everyone past 18 eats a spoonful of shit every day, and it's called adulthood. It's called responsibility. The value of being, or at least trying to be, an intelligent human is understanding that the difference between the swine and human is consciousness. It's your ability to pick. You know what I mean? The homeless guy has problems, and Jeff Bezos has problems. You get to pick the quality of the problems that you want to have. Now, if you're thinking you're going to get to a point financially where you're not going to have any problems, let me rip that Band-Aid right off, because that's a world that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because even the guys that got bedridden, they didn't have to leave bed for 3 weeks, and they created a problem, something that they had to deal with. And what an easier life than laying in bed all day. You know what I mean? So when I say, I paint, bro, you're talking about 2 left hands. I guarantee you, bro, if I sat with you long enough, you would create a master.
100%.
And that's the part that people miss, is even me when I start, bro, man, I should get back into real estate, because this ain't good. I should go do something else, bro, because this is not going to work.
That rough draft was rough.
That first version was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where most people quit. And that's where I would encourage everyone to sit there 30 minutes longer, put it away, go take a walk, and then come back to it with a fresh mind and continue to chip at it. And that's, that goes for everything else, your health, your, a nice dinner and everything else. But in my case, it's art, where, yeah, man, if I showed you some of the pictures of the stuff where they start, you'd probably say like, oh, But once you, and I think that's the thing that's where you find happiness, is scratching your head, trying to figure out and whittle, and man, I don't like that shade, bro, or maybe I should bring this up, or and then once you barrel through that and you start seeing like, oh, it's starting to look a little something like a little something,
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens, and then you continue to push it forward, and eventually something grows out of it. That's eventually something comes up. You just got to sit there long enough.
Yeah.
And that's the mistake that most people make, is they see that first draft like, I couldn't do this. And I think that has, same with financial help, financial people. Oh, well, what am I going to do with $20 a week? or, $20 a month. Like, bro, start.
Yeah.
Just start and sit there long enough, and something will come of it,
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest mistakes and probably one of my biggest sins as a professional is I would start something. I liken this to planting the seed. I would plant the seed. I would get the soil ready. I would water it. I'd remove all the little mulch. I'd work on it 6 months, a year and a half. And then I'd come back a year and a half. Where's my fucking apples? And I wish someone had said, bro, you already did the hardest part.
Yeah.
You already planted it. You cleaned all the mulch. You took all the weeds out. All you got to do now is come back every day and just water it a little bit. And that's the part, bro. That might have been my frustration in my, 33, 34 was why nobody ever said this to me, And so that's one thing I feel is important to share with the young hustlers. Even to me, young, I'll look at a guy that's 64 and like, what are you, like 63? You're just a kid. And then they're going to be like, whoa, how old do you think I am? I go, you look, what, 63, 64? And like, yeah, I'm 64. I go, well. And one of my close friends, he's 93, bro. And he looks 70. Wow. And when I say that to them, they're like, oh, okay. I go, nah, man, you're barely started, bro. You got a long way to go. And they're like, oh, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, I just opened up another 30 years for that guy, And just that small shift in perspective,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's starting. And then it's not exciting to maintain. You know what I mean?
That's the hard part right there.
But that's where the magic is.
Exactly.
It's just a little bit every day.
Yeah.
You don't have to finish everything today. Just do, 1% of progress today is still progress.
Because that's what they always talk about, like with Kobe, Michael Jordan, all these people.
Yeah.
Every single day during training, they did the basics. Everything.
1,000 free throws.
Correct. Yeah. And people are thinking that they're right there with some $20,000-$30,000 equipments and they're doing all these fancy things, and it's like, man, if you actually went in there and looked at them in the gym, you're like, bro, that's what we did in high school practice.
I was out there trying to do a behind the back double flip dunks.
Oh man,
breaking my back out here,
bro.
But like, yeah, it's just to sit there and do basic training, shoot free throws
and the reps, man.
Practice, into reps, get your dribbles down, So
yeah. So how did you come up with the name, man? Hard and Hustle. Like how did it take you a long time? Did it just come to you at night?
No. It was an evolution. It wasn't the name. It was actually, it started as if you want. So I brought one for you and one for your girl. But that's it's a heart with a triangle. And then initially it was just a heart with an eye in it. And that to me was like consciousness. Yeah, we'll put it on the screen. I should have brought one on a stick or something. It was just consciousness. I just thought it was cool. It was like a heart with an eye. It was cool. And then I was looking at it one day and it was just the heart felt kind of lonely. And then I added the triangle for symmetry. And then I was looking at it, and I don't know. Do you know what the Pachuca cross is? The Pachuca cross was a popular Mexican Chicano tattoo that old school 1960s and 70s gangsters would get here on your hand. And it had like 3 little blings.
Oh, the 3 little dots?
That's not the 3 dots. It was like a little bling. Like it was just like a little rail light. Okay. Like a representation of the rail light. So that's when I added the 3 little on the top and then the halo on the bottom. So that was the evolution of the logo. But then I was like, well, people they're gonna have to type something in to find this.
Yeah.
And so that's where Heart and Hustle kind of came, which was at the same time was an evolution of myself and what I was finding out about myself and life and an artist, a hustler, an entrepreneur, a brand. And so going to the deeper levels of the significance of the heart and the triangle is, obviously we all pray and we all hope that God hears our prayer, right? So it turns out that prayer is you talking to God. And I'm sure you know what intuition is. Okay. So it turns out intuition is God talking directly back to you. That small little whisper, that little insight, that little make a left, don't make a right, that's God literally moving humans around on earth. And I want to say I have about like 11 experiences where I didn't want to do that little thing, arguing with myself, like I don't want to. Do it, bro. Do it. I don't want to. And I did it. My life has completely changed. Many experiences.
Yeah.
But intuition is God talking directly back to you.
Wow.
The thing is, we talk ourselves out of it a lot of the times. But once you do it, and we've heard the saying, the thing you want most is hidden directly behind the thing you fear most. And so that's specifically what I mean, is that God's trying to guide you, but you're talking yourself out of these opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the secret is, like, exactly what your shirt says. Action takers, money makers.
Yeah.
The triangle is, you got to hustle. You got to put that idea into action. You know what I mean? Because just an idea means nothing. Everyone has a million ideas. The ones that make it happen are the ones that applied and tried. So that's the combination is the heart for intuition, and the triangle is for hustle, for action. Wow. And then on a deeper level, it's the Holy Trinity too. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not a Bible thumping dude, but I'm grateful that a lot of my experiences have been parallels with other Bible thumping people. Are like, oh, that's Leviticus 1:12. I'm like, well, that's great. Because I wasn't trying. But that's fantastic that now my actions are aligned with God. You know what I mean? And I think about that. I think about, as you know, what would Jesus Christ do? What would Jesus do? You know, I literally think about that all the time. Like, what would Jesus do? And so that was the evolution of that. And then heart and hustle, to me, it just flows off the tongue. It has a real, has a real nice kick to it.
Oh, it really does. And man, like Tony, like, you know who Tony Robbins is? Have you heard? Yeah.
Changed my life.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, changed my life.
So all these phenomenal speakers, right, that have decades in the industry. Yeah. Every single thing that they say and they touch on, just like the gentleman that you mentioned, you can find it in the Bible, because it all comes from it. You know what I mean? Like, it all comes from it. It's just like my pastor said, in order to understand the word, you must first understand the words, because it goes back to Latin root and all that. Yeah. And like, frankly, most people are not going to do that. Like, the majority of the people will not do that, right? But if you can find somebody like yourself to put it out in plain English, right? Break it down to the tempo that somebody can actually digest it and process it. Yeah. It's the same thing, right? It's being taught a little differently, but it's the same message. Right. Right. And the important part is to get the message across. Yeah. Like, that's the important part. Yeah. Right. So that was a huge thing. I was like, oh, well, everything that's kind of like derived from the Bible.
Which is, that's the dynamic between a parent and a child. Mom, what do you know about life? And then your neighbor comes and tells you the same exact thing. Oh, that guy is smart. Yeah. That guy's a smart guy.
And then your mom's just like.
and that's one of the main reasons that I am the way I am. Is because you've heard this a million times. I might say it in a way that makes you, I just plant the seed and it makes you say, yeah. Okay. And that's happened to me a million times, where someone said something, interesting, and then it changes my life, you know. But it's because I heard it from this person and not this person, you know. Actually, if I may, I have one story specific to that, and that was I may have had at that point 2 or 3 little things that happened, but this one really solidified. Nah, bro, it's you have to be this person. Is I get a haircut once a week, and and my barber well, back in the day. Now I'm getting like, so my barber he
it's twice a week though.
It's crispy, bro. It's crispy. And so my barber, he is a Bible thumping dude. You know, polos and dresses. I mean, today I dressed. I dressed up for you, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. You didn't pass the memo, though, bro. You didn't pass the memo.
I had to step my game up. But that day, I had a hoodie on and some jeans and some Air Maxes. So, I looked a little more hood that day. And I was getting my hair cut. And there was my barber is more preppy looking, and there was 3 cholitos. And I don't know why they were there, because they had the same haircut that you have. So I don't even know why these fools are in the barber shop right now. But I don't know if you've heard the story of the slave master and the 3 slaves, and he gives one slave 1 gold talent, gives another slave 3 gold talents, and then the other slave 5 gold talents, and then he rewards the slave with the 5 gold talents because he multiplied it, and he punishes the slave with 1 gold talent because he only hit it.
Right.
And so I'm sure you know that story. So my barber was trying to share that story with the cholitos. And I could see in their face, like, man, shut the fuck up, bro. I ain't trying to hear this shit, you know? Like, shut the, you know? I could just see it. They didn't say it.
Right.
It, you know?
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was like, nah, bro, what it means is like this fool came and he doubled up on the fatty and boo boo, and God bless the fool that flipped it. And he punished the fool that just sat on the chip, you know? Yeah. And I saw the moment that all 3 of them lit up.
Yeah.
Like, what, dog? That's a Feederman story, dog. Yeah. I like that, homie. That's Feederman right there. And since that moment, I just thought, damn, bro. This is recently, in the last 2 years, I'm sure we've all heard of a wolf dressed in sheep's clothes. You know? I now consider myself a sheep dressed in wolf's clothes. Because I'm tattooed and I can talk this way and I carry myself a certain way. I feel like I was made to be able to take the word to where the Bible thumping dudes, they ain't gonna even get into that neighborhood. Yeah. But I'm able to talk to the hookers and the hoes and the pimps and the hustlers in a way that they can relate to. Not that I'm gonna change anybody. But again, I'm just planting seeds, just dropping seeds, bro. Yeah. Dropping seeds, and I'll let God do the rest. Yeah. And so that's, I really feel that was one of those things that really was an indicator to me to take this a little more seriously, be more responsible with taking more action and putting forth the effort to want to help. Because too many times we see something where we could help and we talk ourselves out of it. Yeah. Man, that ain't my pedo, bro. What the fuck? I ain't gonna help this fool. But like, bro, lend a hand. Help me. This is a plea for me. I'm one of the knuckleheads. I'm sure a lot of people prayed for me. Same. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of people prayed for me because I was not this person. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm grateful that some people took just 1% more to like, hey, bro, you're going to be all right. Even I love sometimes I'll be driving, I'll just give people a thumbs up. It flips them, bro. It just, it's like, I'm like, and they're like, and it, you know, it's just those little things. I like doing little things like that make people smile, or because you never know what that person's going through, and you could be that one person that does something that at the end of that day, that person could be having a shitty ass life, and then they think back to what you did, and it gives them a little bit of hope. Lets them know, like, man, not all society's fucked up. It's not all bad, you know. Yeah. And so, you know, I really carry this responsibility now to try to shine my light, not in a loud way, you know, but just help where I can, you know. Yeah, no, and
it shows that you're being a good steward of your gifts, man.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. It really does, and I'll share one quick one, because about 2 weeks ago I bumped into this lady, and she looked like, you know, she needed to turn that frown upside down, you know, and it's like, hey, how we doing? How we doing? How we living? Oh, been a bad day, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's 10 a.m. It's been a bad day. We ain't even in the afternoon yet, bro, you know? And I told her, oh, well, look, I'm sorry to hear that. I told her, hey, you mind if I share something real quick? And she said, yeah. And I'm like, well, listen, I used to feel the same way. I told her, but, you know, a great gentleman told me once, he was like, hey, Chris, there's no such thing as a bad day. And I told her, I looked at him like, well, it must be nice, right? Yeah. But then he told me there's only bad moments. We choose to make it a bad day. And then she's like, I had never seen it that way. And I'm like, man, neither had I, man. But I hope that it brings a different perception on it like it did for me. And she's like, thank you. Yeah. And boom, that little frown went upside down a little more, you know? Man, and she started smiling. And I'm like, bro, it's those little simple things, you know? Because
the Lord's work.
Like when we were talking last time, I was like, man, we are most qualified to help those who you used to be. Amen. So everything that we go through, it's in preparation for what God has in store for us. either for us or for us to steward, such as you're doing for others.
Amen.
Because it's hard for somebody that was just proper since elementary school on the adulthood to relate, right, to people that don't have what society considers a proper vocabulary, right? But when you grew up a different way, a little more rough around the edges, right? Let's just call it how people see it. Like, you grew up in the hood, bro, and then now you learn how to be professional, a little more well-mannered, right?
Yeah.
You could always relate to people who are more affluent and people who are not so affluent financially, right? Same example that you gave in the barbershop. But for people that just grew up like kind of proper all the time, it's extremely hard for them to relate and touch bases, bro, with people who don't have a vocabulary as expanded as theirs. Yeah, man. So that's awesome, bro.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, pray for them too.
Yeah.
Pray for them too. I always pray when I see someone with a great car or whatever thing. I always pray for them to have more. And I think subconsciously I do that in hopes that if and when I am that person, other people are praying for me. You know what I mean? I so, because usually we'll see someone with a great car or something and he's probably selling drugs. That
was the thing.
We have a negative,
you
know, and low key, one of the reasons, because I've also not only fear of failure but fear of success, and that's one of the reasons fear of success is because you're kind of hating, and subconsciously you're not successful because you don't want to be the person that people are hating on. So you'll stop yourself from being successful. Yeah. You'll sabotage some of your own opportunities. And I share this because I sabotaged myself 10, 15 years. Again, I wish someone would have told me this, Yeah, that's why. So I do a lot of trying to heal. Heal. I'm doing a lot of healing, and it's a work in progress, It
really is.
But it's one of those things that I'm sure I'm still doing a lot of bad programming that I have to work through. But I'm grateful now that at least I can see it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I see where I need to make the corrections,
Yeah. Do you ever get the best compliment ever, which is, "Hey man, you changed"?
Yeah, bro. A few times.
Whenever you tap into some folks that used to hang with, like, "Hey, you changed." I'm like, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Talking about vocabulary.
Yeah.
I know that you have a book coming out, but you also have a book out already, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us a little background on the first book that you wrote? And
absolutely. Yeah.
Actually, how did it come about, man? Because who just wakes up and says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna write a book"?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. Not unless you came with the proper vocabulary. I wasn't that guy. I love seminars, bro. I love seminars, health, success. I love it because you're in that energy, you're in that environment, and you're around a group of other people that want to be successful. So what a great place to be.
Fires you
so
up.
Definitely go to as many seminars as you can. And at a certain point you learn, it's the same. It's like the same 80% of the stuff, but I still keep going because there's always that 10%. There's always that little nugget that I haven't heard before. And so I want to say, that's a long time, maybe like 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I went to a seminar. He's pretty, he's out there in the speaker scene. Aaron, I forget his last name, but I'm sure people could Google him. And that day he brought out, there's two parts to the story. I'll share the second one after. He brought a gold medalist out with us. Actually, I'll share that story first because I think that's going to bring a lot of value to your people. One of the things that Aaron said before he let the other gentleman talk, and that really, really stuck with me, he said, everyone should write a book. Everyone has something to say. They just need to sit there long enough to structure it in a way that people want to receive that information. And that really struck a chord, bro. Really struck a chord. I mean, I started writing that day, and I haven't stopped writing since. Wow. And then let me jump to the gold medalist. So the gold medalist was one of the best track stars in the country, but he would always come shy trying out for the Olympics. And this is the value of getting around winners and getting around the people that have done what you're trying to do. So he all the coaches, all the best coaches, the best trainers, and he could just barely would hit the mark to get into the Olympics. And he finally went to one coach, and that coach somewhere in the Midwest gets off the plane. All right, bro, drop your bags. Let me see you run. Runs for that coach, tells him, when you run, you kick your foot out a little bit. Correct that. And that was the thing that took him to be a gold medalist. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So at the very top, it's not huge changes.
No.
It's very little changes. So going back to your question, I started writing. I wrote nonstop for like 4 or 5 years. And I ended up with a hefty bag of paper. It was like 11 pounds of paper. After 4 years of writing, I mean, I would write on sticky notes, menus, napkins. It was it all. So I wrote for like 4 years. It took me about a year to trim that pile down into like a pound of paper. Still a stack about that big. It was a pretty hefty stack. And then that ended up being the book. And the book is called, it's got a main title, a subtitle, and a tagline, which is what Aaron said. Aaron said you have to have a main title, a subtitle, and a tagline. And the book is called, it's a Young Human's Guide, How to Live a Kick-Ass Life. This book will save you 30 years of bullshit. And it ended up not becoming a book. It ended up being the owner's manual to being a happy, healthy, abundant human being.
Wow.
Had nothing to do with finances, and it's all the stuff that comes to who you are before you commit to a job, a wife, a career, to all these responsibilities that society puts on you. Is all the stuff that you should have done for yourself as a human, as a happy, healthy, abundant human. And then you grow from there. So that was the first book that I wrote. It's a Young Human's Guide, How to Live a Kick-Ass Life. This book will save you 30 years of bullshit. Wow. And so very, very happy with that book. Took me, like I said, about 7 years. That one took me about 7 years to write altogether. It's getting, you got to check for your grammar and everything. Yeah. And I'm sure everyone knows who Robert Kiyosaki is in our group. And I remember when Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I did the audiobook, and he had an interview in Singapore with a young lady. And the young lady was correcting, like, oh, you didn't have, this is wrong, and this is not the way you structure a book. And he stopped her in that moment and said, no, I'm not a best writing author. I'm a best-selling author. And that's, to me, because I've had a lot of intellectuals look at it and start correcting. I'm like, no, I cannot write a book, a scholastic thing that's going to end up in a university. I'm writing like tangible, real information that you just read it, put it into action, and that's going to change your life. That's the first book. The second book is my first book in Spanish, which is Sin Miedo al Éxito con las Pilas Puestas. Yeah. Which, I'm going to try to package the same energy, but now para mi gente. Try to bless them. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to go super crazy, but it's one of those things that I keep in mind, and like my work was going to speak for me 100 years after I'm gone. And that's the value of this podcast, these videos, is all this work. You don't know how far your words are going to go even after you're gone. You know what I mean? So we're building this really great body of work. So I'm gonna pray for you that all the right people find your words. I'm so grateful that I got to meet you, bro.
Thank you, man. Likewise, bro. Likewise.
I'm super grateful that I got to meet you. And what you said the other day about you're most qualified to help the person who you used to be, man. That one, you done punched me in my heart, bro. That encouraged me to go a little harder with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always keep that, man, in the front of my head, because, many times, man, when you're coaching someone or you're leading someone, you're like, damn, bro, like, ¿de qué manera te digo, bro, I grew up in the belief that you could beat some sense into someone and out of someone, you feel me? It's not the most effective in the long run. Pero a veces something's got to get done,
Yeah, sometimes, I'm the type of person that does need to get beat over the head a little bit. And again, there's a lot of us out there, bro.
Yeah.
But it's, pray for the knuckleheads. Forgive me. I don't do better because I don't know better. That's one of the things that I really, through my evolution, figured out, that I didn't do better because I didn't know better. Not that I didn't know, but inside, I didn't know that I could be one of those people that does good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was a lot of darkness in me that wouldn't allow me to see myself as a good person. There was a lot of shame, and you're a lot of like negativity, and then you surround yourself with a group of people that are on the same vibe, and you're in the darkness.
Yeah.
And so it's not that I didn't know word for word, because all your teachers say this shit, but I didn't know that was possible for me, because no one ever no one ever sat down and said, well, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one ever sat me down and let me unload some of the weight that I was carrying within me. And, as time moved on, I've understood that was part of the process. So I've gone back again to some healing and some fixing and some understanding. And it's a scary journey, but I'm grateful that I did it, and I'm grateful that I continue to do it. And I challenge your listeners, so anybody who's going to come across this, to go somewhere quiet and just see what comes up. Don't judge it.
Yeah.
Just see what comes up. It's not good. It's not bad. It just is what it is.
Man.
And I think that's why we have such a consumer society, is because we're trying to cover that stuff that's bubbling up within us with more stuff, so we don't have to focus. But that's where the magic is. That's where the gold is. And that's where true growth comes from, is when you sit down to start seeing the stuff that starts bubbling up for you.
Yeah.
Hey, man, forgive yourself. You didn't know any better. You know what I mean? You're to the point now where now you understand, okay. And I ain't perfect. I'm sure I'm still going to make mistakes, So I hope I share this with you and your people, to give you and others permission to forgive yourself, to heal, to know that, all right, I did it. I'm not that person anymore. Stop to myself. Stop beating myself over the head, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that I messed up, but now I'm trying to correct and do better.
We punish ourselves harder than society does, bro. Really. And man, a great friend of mine's literally since elementary school. He's one of my best friends, bro. He told me once. It was years back, but it was my early 20s. He was like, hey, you can't be by yourself, huh? And I was like, nah, who the hell wants to be by himself? He's like, nah. Like, you can't be by yourself. And, it hit me, bro, because I couldn't.
A lot of people can't.
I couldn't be alone with my thoughts, bro. Because them thoughts were flowing, and they were nothing good, Because bro, the way you grow up, you didn't know no better in a lot of situations. And them thoughts are there.
You just didn't know any better.
Yeah, no, and I didn't intentionally develop a processing system to, one, deal with it, and two, like, filter them. Like, what is this actually telling me? How can I use it? Can't fix the past, but how can I use it to make the present better, to have a much better future, and not have a future that resembles the past?
Yeah,
it'll come back to me. But I know that you talked about when you were doing real estate, you had some mentors, right?
Yeah,
and
great guys, love those guys.
Yeah, but for so many people that, they might feel stuck where they're at, they don't really have the best guidance at home or their surroundings. Like, how can someone go find a mentor? And two, what should you look for in a mentor?
So I would say you have to, and this is what I include in the book. It's who you are as a person, who you want to be, and then it's your health, and then it's relationships with your family, relationship with God, and then your relationship with your finances. So it's those like 5 or 6 categories that now you got to go find a mentor for each one. Start small. Start, honestly, bro, all the old people you have around you are great resources.
That's true.
Go knock on some doors. Be vulnerable. Hey, man, I'm a young guy. I don't really know what I'm doing. I need a little bit of help. Is there any way I could bounce these ideas off of you, and maybe you can give me some feedback? And they know people that you don't know. You know what I mean? I think when you're young, a big advantage that you have, even me, because, I talk to dudes that are 80 and they like me because they see themselves in me. That, just the fact that you took the step to ask, is an indicator to that person that this kid's got something. I'm gonna help this kid out.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten thrown deals just because I asked. You know what I mean? And so I would say that's the first. Well, let me take even a step back. The very first thing that you can do is to want. To want to find a mentor.
Yeah.
Is to have a real deep want. Like, man, it can't be like, man, I hope I get one. And then, nah, bro, you don't really want it. You know what I mean? If it's an inconvenience for you to go out there and do the work, then you ain't going to get it, bro. You don't really want it. And unfortunately, when things ain't things are kind of bad, you don't develop that want. You develop that want when shit sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't going. That's the only reason I'm an entrepreneur, bro, and a business owner is because I can't have a boss. I can't have someone tell me what to do, when to show up, especially people that I don't respect or admire. I can't be like, bro, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, show me your qualifications, you know? So that's the first step, is to develop a real deep want to get ahead. And then from there is a lot of door knocking, you know? Try a lot of things. Fail at a million things. The worst that could happen is you fail. And you get up tomorrow, you do it again. You're not going to get your arms cut off. You're not going to lose a limb. No one's going to, don't put yourself in any dumb situations.
Right.
But no one's going to take your life. You're just going to fail. You're going to feel a little silly. But even feeling a little silly through failure starts building that callus. You know what I mean? One thing about success, I was told, is it's like digging for gold. You got to flip through a lot of mud before you find that gold nugget. You can't just scoop twice and oh man, where's my mountain of gold? Nah, bro, you got to sit there, you know, and you're gonna flip through, and it's the same. You're gonna knock on a lot of doors. You're gonna talk to a lot of people, and the good thing about talking to people is everybody has something, has a little pearl of wisdom that they could bless you with.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the accumulation of these little pearls that allow you to build and then I would say the second thing is make it a collaboration between you and God. Share your goals with God. Bring him into the hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bring him into the business. Sit down with him and write your notes out. That's another thing. You got to write. You got to write. Okay, what the magic is in consciousness and a piece of paper. That's where the magic is. Because once you write it down, now it's turned into a real thing. Yeah, now you can hold a thing. It's real now. It's not an idea stuck in your head, you know? And then and I'll show it to you. I got a little piece of paper that I've had written down for 12 years. And I carry that in my wallet, bro. And that's my master list of my goals. And like I'd say out of the 12, I got like 6 or 7 are checked off. These are major goals. Major goals. And now that thing's falling apart, bro. It looks like the Declaration of Independence, bro. This shit, it's bad. But half, the bottom half is all you can't even. I was like, what goal was that? Like I didn't even remember what goal that was, you know. But that's writing stuff down, keeping notes of it. When it comes to writing, write. That means go to Walmart and get a cheap little whiteboard, sticky notes, notepads, write on your arm, Google Docs, Google Calendar. One thing I like to share with people, I think I shared this with you last time, is the mind is an antenna. It's a receiver to receive the information, but it's not a filing cabinet. I ended up in the hospital because I was trying to keep everything up here. I didn't understand that the mind is a receiver. Writing it down, you're downloading the information to open up the hard drive space in order to continue to receive the new information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one thing that's super powerful, is stop trying to store. Because all the ideas that you have in your head now is stuff from 2 years ago. And if you don't open up new space, 2 years from now is going to look like today. So as soon as you start downloading and organizing and making sure, you write it down, Google Docs, make your notes, make your diagrams, make your to-dos. And then the other thing also real quick is make sure to put a little square next to create a checklist. Humans love checklists.
Yeah.
If you make a checklist and you don't lose that checklist, a year later, 80% of that checklist will be checked off naturally. And so that's, I would say, write what are the things that you hope to get out of it? And then, who would be in every category? Who are the 5 people that you think would be the best examples for you to go. And then you go and you show them your list, or you ask them a question and you ask them, hey, how, if you were me, how would you do it? And then they might, God willing, each one of those 5 just gave you 5 new ideas. But this is where most people are, because now they're going to give you feedback on stuff you got to go do.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable situations you got to go put yourself in. Yeah. Responsibilities that you have to add on. Things that you're doing that they're going to say stop, that you don't want to stop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's where the work is. And, don't feel discouraged if you don't get it at first. I got stuff that's taken me 15 years to do. But I'm glad that I stuck with it long enough, because the 15 years passed anyways. And now I got a sick ass classic car collection, and
it seems so. Yeah.
And so it's just sit with it long enough, and eventually, yeah. So I would say that, I would say that.
That whole part blew me away, because see, most people they'll take it to where, hey, write things down, right? Mm-hmm. Like even for myself, I started writing down for 23 days straight, and I'm still on it. What do I want? Mm-hmm. And I'm just writing it down every day. Mm-hmm. Every day. What do I want? And it's like at the end of those 23 days, the things that keep on repeating is what you probably actually truly want, mm-hmm. and that's what you should focus on.
So every day you create that list again.
Yeah, and it's not the same, but now in week 2,
nice.
And I'm like, oh snap, like that's what I actually want, and I'm still writing. I'm still writing. Yeah. So and exactly when you put it pen to paper, bro, is downloading and you're creating clarity. Mm-hmm. But that part about creating space, I'm like, damn. But the way that you took it, a whole nother level for me. I haven't heard many people say this. It's, hey, those goals that you have written down, go tap in with 5 other people, mm-hmm. and show it to them.
At least.
At least.
I would say 30 people.
Yeah.
But 5 is the bare minimum.
And I would add to that is show it to the people that are closest to those goals, not closest to you.
Yeah.
Because that was a big mistake of mine. I'm like, I'm over here getting opinions, bro.
We should talk about that a little bit,
Yeah, I used to ask for opinions and advice from people closest to me, and they didn't mean no harm, bro.
Well, they mean the best.
Yeah.
But they're speaking from what they can do,
mm-hmm.
and their abilities.
Correct.
And they're trying to protect you from failure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nah, bro, why are you trying to do that shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, bro.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, bro. You're only adding on, man. There's no cutting off. But that thing was huge, bro.
Yeah.
That thing was huge.
That's
and
amazing.
I hope that people actually go back and listen to that part, because the mentorship, the writing it down, and then last but not least, probably one of the most important parts is executing on it.
Yeah.
That's the little holy trinity right there,
man.
bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, the most important part is bringing God into it, because He's going to be the one He's going to be the one that drops the opportunities,
mm-hmm.
and stop being frustrated, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours is yours. It's
mm-hmm.
already yours. God wants you to have it. You're the one that keeps doubting, and what ain't for you, it was never for you.
Yeah.
So if you lost a deal or if you missed an opportunity, then baby, that deal wasn't for you to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's meant for you is meant for you. You know what I mean? And in Spanish, I'm sure cuando te toca, aunque te quites.
Yeah.
Y cuando no te toca, aunque te pongas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and for the English speakers is when it's meant for you, even if you get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And what's not meant for you, even if you're in the way, you ain't gonna get it.
100%.
It hits a little nicer in Spanish. But.
Oh yeah. It's like en español todo pega un poquito más duro,
Sí,
you know?
Un poquito más sabor.
Bro.
Sazón.
And you mentioned like it took you 15 years for one of your goals, right?
Many years.
Many years. And the one thing is all work works. It's just sometimes it must work on you before it works for you.
Amen.
But most people do not let it work on them long enough for it to work for them.
Yeah. One thing I have to say to that is I've gotten, last 10 years I've gotten into cooking, and
mm-hmm.
a lot of my family members are really great cooks. I have a cousin that's about to start a catering company, and he's he has businesses that are producing a lot of money, but his passion is cooking. and barbacoa, and and so he's starting a catering company. And one thing I figured out from my aunt, para hacer un caldo, a real beautiful soup, is you start in the morning with a 5-gallon pot, big old big fat pot, and you fill that with your water and your herbs and the essence and the chicken and all the vegetables, and you let that on a low simmer, and you let that sit there all day till it evaporates and all the stuff that you added simmers down to the essence, and all that little bit that's left, that's where the flavor is. So that's I liken that to, like, you gotta let the meat sit. You gotta sit there and marinate. Sometimes it looks like you're not doing anything.
Yep.
Looks like the meat not doing anything, but it's getting that flavor. You're getting that marinade. That's where the sauce, you know what I mean? That's where you could put the sauce on the plate, and now that's that simmering time is what allows you, like, damn, that was delicious. Those meals that really hit is because there was a lot of love that went into it, and it takes time. And that was, likening it to what we're talking about is things take time, man. Things take time, and it's better that they do. Because you're probably not ready to get them right now anyways. Because if you get them, you're probably going to fumble it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that maturity. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
So, let the meat simmer. Let the meat simmer for a little bit, get that little flavor. You know what I mean? You're going to be glad that you waited a little bit longer. And for some, if someone's listening to them, they're 14, 17, 19, you ain't ready for success. Go get scratched up. Go pay your dues. Go get into trouble. Go pay your dues and get scratched up a little bit, because you ain't ready for success. You're too young. Go through that process, and you're going to be grateful that you did.
Yeah, because I tell people, I'm like, man, I like doing business with people that have a few scars, bro.
Yeah.
Because if they don't have no scars and they get the first scar with you, you don't know how they're going to react, bro.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know. You feel me? They don't even know, man.
Because they've never had that experience.
Yeah, bro. There was a
and
young.
it looks cool. I always wanted a scar like that. I always wanted a cool. I wanted a cool, like, yeah, that guy looks cool right there.
Your conversation piece, bro, is being like that.
I always
one guy
wanted an eye patch, bro. I might still get one. No, just kidding. With the Heart and Hustle logo. Yeah,
bro, but you gotta bling that out. You gotta bling it out a little bit, bro.
I'm gonna fucking bling it out, yeah, for sure.
Hey, but where can people get your books at? You have them on Amazon or?
So I haven't published yet. I'm to the point. What I'm gonna do, because of what we're going through right now, which again thank you for inviting me on the podcast, bro. Is I'm gonna double up, and if you would allow me to go through the process, and it will be on Amazon by the time this podcast goes up.
Okay, yeah.
So they can. I'll double up, make them, and see. This is again. Now I didn't anticipate it, but now I gotta make it happen. I'm gonna go through the process. Right now I'm in talks to print my first 500.
Okay.
But that might be 2 or 3 months. But if I go through the process, I can have people down, because those are physical copies. But I will do my best and to get them on Amazon so people can read them online. And then I'll send you the link.
Okay.
And that way all your people have access to that.
Yeah, bro. Because I want them to be able to have these golden nuggets that you're dropping right here. But
that would be amazing.
I could only imagine from your first book everything that you poured into it. Because I mean, it was a long process.
Yeah.
Sorry, with 11 pounds of paper, for people that don't know, I mean, 11 pounds of paper, man, it's a lot.
It's
bro.
a black hefty bag.
Yeah,
it's a black hefty bag.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a black hefty bag.
And then to condense that to the way that you did it, I'm like, man, there's so much value in there.
Yeah.
That I definitely want to pick that up. So,
yeah. I mean, it was 4 years of writing.
Yeah.
And then again, I trimmed 4 years of writing. I trimmed like 80-90% of it, and I was still left with a pound of paper.
Yeah.
That's 2 reams of paper. When you buy the ream at Office Depot or whatever, that's 2. It's like a ream and a half of paper, and that was the flavor. And that's what mostly ended up making it into the book.
Right.
I do have a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Where it's so again, it is a book, but it's not a book. It's the owner's manual. So you don't have to read it in order. It's a resource where if you're going through this thing, you can go to that chapter or to that. I call them reports. So you can go to that report. And one thing I am going to add, which I haven't, but it's going to be every report is going to come with a video, which adds on just a little bit more. And now you get a visual aspect to that report. And so if you guys wanted to go on YouTube at Heart and Hustle Studios on YouTube, and they can find a lot of similar knowledge. The book is packaged in a book, and the videos are packaged as it's my YouTube channel. It's the Institute for Heart and Hustle. My goal there, this is one of those goals that I'm nowhere near, but it's the Institute for Heart and Hustle, which eventually I want to do a legitimate institute, university level, kind of like not a trade school, but where you can go and we have people that are in different industries, and I can invite different teachers, carpenters, accountants, attorneys, metal workers, car fabricators, painters, and everyone has a gift, and everyone just needs a way to turn that gift into a money-making opportunity for themselves. And so that's my goal,
That's fire.
But I started with a free YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And at least in the title, it's the Institute for Heart and Hustle. And this is, this would be the 101 of. So this is intro to Heart and Hustle is the book.
So for the people that are just going to listen to it in audio, is it Heart, letter N, Hustle, or Heart and?
It's Heart, Heart, the letter N, Hustle, Hustle, and then Studios, Studios on YouTube at Heart and Hustle Studios on YouTube. Also Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but a lot of my attention is going to YouTube to build that foundation. I'm sure eventually I'll do a 501c3 where it's a nonprofit. I mean, I already do giveaways. I do scholarships. I do grants. I do a lot of mentoring. I've given away a couple iPads. Nice. I'm trying to, because I'm an artist, I have a soft spot for artists. So I'm trying to get like colors. Yeah. If anybody out there wants to donate, we want to take colors, coloring books, backpacks, all the people that are, struggling a little bit, help them out,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you for allowing me to get that out there.
No, of course. And we'll have everything linked, in the description so that they can go directly to it. Brother, I mean, what anything else that you have in the foreseeable future that you want people to tap into?
I would say that's the main project and the main goal is getting that to mature. I've been working on it for a while now, and it's given me some real beautiful results. We barely getting warmed up.
Let's go.
We still got it's still on the hot plate right now, still simmering and getting that flavor. So the best is yet to come. And the way I like to say it is Heart and Hustle is we are Nike for dreamers. So, one day Nike and we going to be at the same level as far as having that impact around the world,
Yeah, maybe even a little collab too, man.
Amen.
There you go.
I'll talk to God about that. See what He thinks.
hey, absolutely.
That's amazing.
So, guys, make sure to go and check out everything that Christian has going on. You guys got a little taste of it, and I mean, we can sit here for 10 hours straight.
Amen.
But you guys can go and tap into all of his work and his artwork also. I see he has a little bit of his artwork and on his Instagram.
Yep.
I was browsing through it, and I say a little bit because, man, I'm pretty sure you don't put up every single piece that you've done.
Oh, it'd be too much.
Yeah, it'd be too much.
But I'll do my best to add a little bit more of the artistic stuff. Yeah.
So, guys, stay on the lookout for that beautiful book. Give it one more time.
It's a young human's guide how to live a kick-ass life. This book will save you 30 years of bullshit. And I wanted to say thank you to Chris and his wife and my beautiful girlfriend is here with us today and for joining us. Nice. And thank you guys for hanging out and allowing me to kind of share my experiences a little bit. Hopefully, it finds the right person at the right time. And I'm gonna pray for everyone that's been involved and that will be involved, that, to lighten the load, lighten the burden, and open up some beautiful opportunities for your people, for yourself, for everyone here. And let's get out there and live a kick-ass life.
Man, amen to that, brother. Thank you very much, bro.
Amen.